I'm a student at Huntington High School and I'm reading the Lorax. At the far end of town, where the gruggle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no bird ever sings, expecting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the gruggle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today, where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the gruggle grass grows, the old once there still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the once there, don't knock at his door. He stays in his look mirror on the top of his door. He lurks in his look mirror, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of mufted move. On his special dank midnight in August, he peeks out of the shutters and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of the rope, he lets down a 10 pin, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of the great-great-great-grandfather's snail. Then he pulls up the pal, makes it most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snoot. His secret strange hold is in his grooveless glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I'll tell you are for your ears alone. Slip down slips the whisper mouthful to your ears, and the old once-there whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snagular hose, and his sound as if he had smallest bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such as long time back. Way back in the day when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean. And the song of the summit swan rang in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright colored troughs of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze, and under the tree I saw brown barbaloos frisking about their barbaboot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comforting sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I just knew what I'd do and unloaded my cart. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their trunks as much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill, and with great speedy speed, I took the soft truff and I knitted a tree. The instant I finished, I heard a zag-zoom. I looked, I saw something pop out of the stump. Of the tree I chopped down, it was short of a man. Describe him, that's hard, I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish, and brownish and mosey. And he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said with a sawdust sneeze, I am the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongue, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed, what's that thing you made out of my truffula Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I am being quite useful. This thing is a thief. A thief, a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other use. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpet, for pillows, for sheets. Our curtains are covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that full three. But the very next minute I proved him wrong, for just at a minute I champed came along, and he thought that the thing I needed was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax, you poor stupid guy. You never tell what you some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him, shut up if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts and said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Once There family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road north niche, turn left at Weehawkins, sharp right at South Stitch. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Once There family was working full tilt. We were all knitting three, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chomping of the trumpet trees. Then, oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chomping one tree at a time was too slow, so I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making the 4 times as fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But next week he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chomping at my fast you please, and also in charge of the brown barbaloots who played in the shade of their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thank you for your hacking of my trees on the ground. There's not enough truffula fruit to go around. But my poor barbaloots are getting the cummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I once there felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and the business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered my loads of the threads I shipped out. I was shipping them 40 of the south to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on the bigger, selling more things. I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again came back, I was fixing some pipes when the old Narcissus Lorax came back with more grips. I am the Lorax. He coughed and he whipped. He sneezed and he sniffled. He gnarred. He sniffed. Once there, he cried with a snuffling croak. Once there, you're making such smogless smoke. My poor swami swam. Why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please, pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I hopefully don't know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax. He darted up. Let me say a few words about the grumpy glub. Your machinery chugged day and night without stop, making gluppery glub, also slippery slope, and what to do with the leftover goo. I'll show you, you dirty old once there man you. You're glumping the ponds where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Their future is daring. They'll walk on their fins and worry in search of some water that isn't so smerry. And they got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intended to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I figured, are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, turning more truffula trees into three, which everyone needs." And at the moment we heard a loud whack, from outside of the fields came a sickening smack of the axe on the tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees, no more threes, no more working to be. So in time, my uncles and aunts, everyone all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance. He gave me a very sad backwards glance. He lifted himself back to the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face. When he histed himself, it took to leave this place, though a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my building has fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, say the Onceler, now that you hear the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going on to get better. It's not. So, catch, called the Onceler. He let something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seed and the truffula tree of what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula. Treat it with care. Give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect from the axe that hacks, and the Lord and all his friends may come back. The end.